Hello everyone, I'm Eriko Nishijima. In this video, I will talk about the basic grammatical items and grammatical features of the Japanese language. It will be useful for you to know these when you start learning Japanese. This video is structured as follows. First, let's talk about sentences. There are three types of sentences in Japanese: noun sentences, adjective sentences, and verb sentences. First, let's look at noun sentences. In a noun sentence, a noun is a predicate of the sentence. A predicate describes the behavior or state of the topic or subject. In the sentence, 田中さんは学生です means Tanaka is a student. The noun 学生です student is the predicate. The end of the noun sentence is です. Next, let's look at adjective sentences. In an adjective sentence, an adjective is a predicate. In the sentence, 田中さんはかわいいです means Tanaka is cute. The adjective かわいいです cute is the predicate. In the sentence, 田中さんは親切です means Tanaka is kind. The adjective 親切です kind is the predicate. Like the noun sentence, the end of the adjective sentence is です. There are two types of adjectives, い adjectives and な adjectives. The first example here is い adjectives. In the first sentence, the adjective かわいいです cute is called an い adjective because there is an い at the end of かわいい. In the second sentence, the adjective 親切です is called a な adjective because there is no い at the end of 親切. Finally, let's look at verb sentences. In a verb sentence, a verb is the predicate. In the sentence, 田中さんはパンを食べます means Tanaka eats bread. The verb 食べます eat at the end of the sentence is the predicate. Here, the end of the verb sentence is ます. In this way, basic Japanese sentences consist of three types: noun, adjective, and verb sentences. Noun sentences, adjective sentences, and verb sentences can express differences between affirmation and negation as well as non-past and past by changing the form of the predicate at the end of the sentence. Here is an example using noun sentences. In the sentence, 田中さんは学生です means Tanaka is a student. If the sentence is negative, it will be 田中さんは学生ではありません means Tanaka is not a student. In addition, if the sentence describes the past, it will be 田中さんは学生でした means Tanaka was a student. And if it describes a negative form of the past, it will be 田中さんは学生ではありませんでした means Tanaka was not a student. The same is true for verb sentences. In the sentence, 田中さんはパンを食べます。Miss Tanaka eats bread. In the negative form, the ending ます changes to ません. And the sentence will be 田中さんはパンを食べません。Miss Tanaka does not eat bread. Also, when representing the past, ます becomes ました and the sentence will be 田中さんはパンを食べました。Miss Tanaka ate bread. Finally, the negative form of the past will be 田中さんはパンを食べませんでした。Miss Tanaka did not eat bread. In this way, by changing the form of the predicate at the end of the sentence, we can express the difference between affirmative and negative as well as non-past and past. Another feature of Japanese sentences is that there are polite styles and plain styles. Polite styles are used when talking to superiors or people who are not very close, or when writing letters. On the other hand, plain styles are used when talking with very close friends, writing a novel or diary, and so on. Let's look at some examples. The noun sentence 田中さんは学生です。Miss Tanaka is a student is in the polite style. In the plain style, it will be 田中さんは学生だ。Miss Tanaka is a student. The verb sentence 田中さんはパンを食べます。Miss Tanaka eats bread is in the polite style. In the plain style, it is 田中さんはパンを食べる。Miss Tanaka eats bread. It is necessary to use polite and plain styles properly, depending on who you are talking to. In Japanese language education, however, students first study polite styles. Therefore, in this video, I will explain polite styles. Next, I will explain Japanese particles. Particles are often used in sentences in Japanese. Particles allow you to express the grammatical relationship between words in a sentence, which is a characteristic of Japanese grammar. For example, in the sentence, 田中さんは学生です。Miss Tanaka is a student. The は represents the topic or subject of the sentence. By attaching 田中さん, Miss Tanaka, and は, you can see that the topic or subject of this sentence is Miss Tanaka, and you can see that Miss Tanaka is a student. Let's look at the next example. In the sentence, 田中さんはパンを食べます。Miss Tanaka eats bread. は also represents the topic or subject. Also, を represents the object. You can see that the topic or subject of this sentence is Miss Tanaka. Also, you can see that what Miss Tanaka eats is bread. In the next example, the sentence is 田中さんは海で泳ぎます。Miss Tanaka swims in the sea. Here, は is a particle that represents the topic or subject, and で is a particle that represents a place. this shows that the topic or subject of this sentence is Ms. Tanaka, and that the place where Ms. Tanaka swims is the sea. In this way, Japanese sentences use particles to express the grammatical relationship between words. And there are various particles in Japanese. Here are some other particles. In the sentence, 田中さんは学校へ行きます。Miss Tanaka goes to school. The particle へ indicates the direction, and it shows that the place where Miss Tanaka goes is school. Also, in the next sentence, 田中さんは10時に起きます。Miss Tanaka gets up at 10 o'clock. This particle に stands for time, and it shows that the time when Miss Tanaka wakes up is 10 o'clock. As you can see, there are various particles in Japanese, and these are very important for expressing grammatical relationships. Therefore, you need to learn how to use these Japanese particles properly. You also have to be careful where these particles are placed. Particles that represent the grammatical relationship between words are placed after the noun. The first example is 田中さんは学生です。Ms. Tanaka is a student. In this sentence, は which represents the topic or subject of the sentence is placed after the noun 田中さん, Ms. Tanaka. In the second example, 田中さんはパンを食べます。Ms. Tanaka eats bread. The particle を which represents the object is placed after the noun パン, bread. Finally, in the third example, 田中さんは海で泳ぎます。Miss Tanaka swims in the sea. The particle で for place is placed after the noun 海, sea. Let's take a quiz here. Please place the particles in sentences 1 and 2 in the right place. Sentence 1 is the sentence 山田さんコーヒー飲みます。In English, Mr. Yamada drinks coffee. In this sentence, place the particle は that represents the topic or subject, and the particle を that represents the object. Where should they be placed? Yes, here. Please put the particle は after the noun 山田さん, Mr. Yamada. Please put the particle を after coffee, coffee. Now let's look at the second sentence. 山田さん部屋寝ます。In English, the sentence is Mr. Yamada sleeps in the room. Now place the particle は for the topic or subject and the particle で for the place. Where should they be placed? Yes, here. Please put the particle は after the noun 山田さん, Mr. Yamada. Please put the particle で after the noun 部屋, the room. Did you get the correct answer? keep in mind that particles are placed after the noun. Now let's look at word order in Japanese. This section describes the basic word order of verb sentences. The basic word order of Japanese verb sentence is subject-verb pattern or subject-object-verb pattern. The verb is always placed at the end of the sentence. The first example, 田中さんは歩きます。Miss Tanaka walks, has no object and consists of the subject, Miss Tanaka, and the verb walk. The second example, 田中さんはパンを食べます。Miss Tanaka eats bread, consists of the subject, Miss Tanaka, the object, bread, and the verb, eat. The word order is subject, object, verb. In English, the word order is subject, verb, object. In that way, the word order of Japanese sentences is different from that of English. Let's take a quiz. Here are 3 words or phrases. 読みます、本を and 田中さんは。読みます is a verb, to read. 本を is a noun, book. And を is a particle that indicates the object. 田中さんは is the noun. 田中さん means Tanaka and the particle は represents the topic or subject of the sentence. Please rearrange these words to make a sentence. The meaning in English is Miss Tanaka reads a book. The correct answer is 田中さんは本を読みます。Miss Tanaka reads a book. The word order of Japanese sentence is subject, object, verb. Therefore, 田中さんは本を読みます is correct. However, sometimes the subject and object can be replaced. In the example, 田中さんはパンを食べます。Miss Tanaka eats bread. It can also be パンを田中さんは食べます。Compared to English, Japanese has more freedom in terms of word order. However, when you study Japanese, first remember subject, object, verb as the basic word order. How about making an interrogative sentences? In Japanese, making an interrogative sentence is very simple. All you have to do is add ka to the end of the sentence. The word order does not change. Let's look at the example below. This is a noun sentence. In the sentence, 田中さんは学生です。Miss Tanaka is a student. Add ka at the end of the sentence to say, 田中さんは学生ですか? Is Miss Tanaka a student? The same is true for adjective sentences. The next example is a verb sentence. In the sentence, 田中さんはパンを食べます。Miss Tanaka eats bread. Add ka at the end of the sentence to say, 田中さんはパンを食べますか? Does Miss Tanaka eat bread? The word order does not change. Let's take a quiz. Please make an interrogative sentence from sentence 1 and 2. Sentence 1 is 山田さんは先生です。Mr. Yamada is a teacher. Please make an interrogative sentence with this sentence. Yes, the correct answer is 山田さんは先生ですか? Is Mr. Yamada a teacher? What about sentence 2? Sentence 2 is 山田さんはコーヒーを飲みます。Mr. Yamada drinks coffee. Please make an interrogative sentence with this sentence. Yes, the correct answer is 山田さんはコーヒーを飲みますか? Does Mr. Yamada drink coffee? Lastly, I would like to mention that the topic and subject are sometimes omitted in Japanese sentences. This is another feature of Japanese sentences. The following examples are often seen in conversation in Japanese. In the first sentence, A asks, 学生ですか? Are you a student? Here, A asks about you, and the topic of this sentence is you. However, the topic you is omitted in this Japanese sentence. Also, looking at the answer sentence, B replies, はい、学生です。Yes, I am a student. Here, B talks about himself or herself, and the topic of this sentence is I. However, the topic I is also omitted in this Japanese sentence. This often happens in Japanese sentences. The reason is that, especially in the case of conversational sentences, the topic or subject of the sentence can be clearly understood from the context. So, it is okay to omit the topic or subject. In English, the topic or subject is not often omitted. However, in Japanese, the topic or subject is often omitted. Therefore, students who have started to learn Japanese often make the following mistakes. Let's look at the example below. In the first sentence, A asks, あなたは学生ですか? Are you a student? The subject, あなたは is not omitted here. Also, in the second sentence, the reply, はい、私は学生です。Yes, I am a student. The subject, 私は I is not omitted. This is a somewhat unnatural sentence in Japanese. When you start learning Japanese, you will often see sentences in Japanese textbooks, especially conversation textbooks, with the topic and subject omitted. At that time, remember the story of this video. So far, I have talked about the basic items and features of Japanese grammar. I hope this video will be of some help to you as you learn Japanese. Thank you very much.